to the question of social exclusion, that is probably the most depressing thread of social research right now, because what we are finding, I say we, I should point to the Duncan Watts and Robert Putnam at respectively Columbia and Harvard. Actually, Duncan's now Facebook and Harvard, are finding that social density, right, the kind of clustering that gives people access to social capital, people who will lend you some money or walk your cat or what have you, just the little things that make life livable, has so much to do with like clustering, that what we end up with are small groups of people who are very similar. And there are only a handful of individuals in any given society who bridge those gaps. If I was going to address social exclusion, if I wanted to set up a program to address social exclusion, I would not try to address the bulk of the groups. Most of those resources would go to waste, because most of the people know are other people like them. And so it's a difficult bootstrapping problem. I would find the people who are bridging the structural things. I would find the people who know someone in council housing and someone who's living over in Belgravia, right? And I wouldn't fund the people in Belgravia or the people in the council housing to just get together and talk to one another. I'd find the people who are already naturally bridging that gap somehow. And I would give them tools specifically designed for this connection or social bridging function that's different than just what the everyday user might use. Because what we found in every social system we've ever looked at is the imbalance of participation means that a few people are responsible for most of the sort of social systemic connectivity. And concentrating on those people, on the outliers, rather than on the average, actually can improve the system as a whole. I think you move more information, awareness, empathy, sympathy, what have you, across those otherwise relatively unbridged gaps by finding the natural bridges and strengthening rather than trying to build new ones from scratch. And I know that's a very, very compressed answer to a very complicated subject, but that piece of the small, I mean, the book to read is Duncan Watts' 6 Degrees, which is the small worlds network pattern, and it is those few connectors that hold together where I think the highest leverage